Well, hello again. We're still in lockdown in England, although I have been getting out doing a few local walks and I've managed to upload a few videos to my YouTube channel. But in between I've been doing a considerable amount of spending. What I want to do this afternoon is review two of the products I've recently bought. The reason I'm reviewing two of them together is they actually do go together. And the first one is the Flylinkteach CK100 300w power station. I've only had these a few days. The second product is the eco-worthy 120-watt solar panel, folding solar panel, which I'll get to in a minute. They've been bought separately, but obviously I've done my research to make sure that they work well together. Okay, before I start, this is a completely unbiased, out of the box review. I have checked everything's working, but they've not been sort of, tested in anger, so to speak, out in the field as yet. So this is basically a first impressions video. One of the things that was in the box for the power station was this card, gift for you. Excuse me. Basically, they're offering you a free gift if you email them with your order number. Well, I'll be silly not to. And the gifts are A, handheld vacuum, B, string lights, C, $40 Amazon card. I emailed them, gave them my order number. Within 2 days they got back to me saying that if I took some screenshots or sent up some photos with a good review, they would happily send my gift. I refused. I don't give reviews for gifts. I buy products, I check them out. If they're good, I give them a good review. If they're bad, they get a bad review. These two products will not be fully tested out till probably the end of May, beginning of June, when I've got a 9-day camping trip planned. So at that point, I'll probably look into giving them a full review. Right, moving on. So out of the box, we have the actual power station, power generator. It's relatively lightweight. I think it's about 3.54 kilograms. Quite compact as well. It's quite a good looking little dude. It comes with several leads. Obviously the main lead being the mains, or the 240 charger, to the quite common connector, which is the 5.5 times 2.1 connector. In the bag, this bag doesn't come with in the box. It's mine, but it just keeps all the cables tidy. They also send you the 5.5 times 2.1 DC connector to the cigarette, I call it the cigarette lighter or socket connector. Very useful. Another connector that will be for in 5.5 times 2.1 in to the CM4. So that would be for a solar panel, general solar panel connectors, and that would be going in, so it would be charging off the solar panel. Very handy to have, but that all comes with the solar panel. But again, we'll talk about that later. And last but not least, you have your car charger, your cigarette lighter socket connector to 5.5 times 2.1 connector in. So the three ways of charging it: wall charger, car charger, and solar panel. I have charged it, but it was already 3/4 charged when I got it, so it only took about an hour to take to full. So I can't sort of tell whether their claims are right, but the manufacturers say that to charge from basically very low on a wall charger, it's 7 hours, or the mains charger. The car charger, approximately 10 hours. Solar panel, you can't give a time. It depends on the size of the panel and the weather conditions. I am estimating that with a 120-watt solar panel in reasonably good sunshine, I would say probably 7 or 8 hours to full charge. But again, in the future, I'll be able to test that out and we'll find out. But yeah, nice little set of leads. Good enough. Okay, I bought this off of Amazon. And the seller, in the seller's description, there's a few errors, and the photographs. It states that there is 2 AC outputs. There isn't. There's one on this. Also in the photographs on Amazon, it shows 2 outlets. One looks like the shaving point outlet, or more like the European, and then you've got the UK one. There is only one. It states, although it doesn't show on the pictures, that there's 2 DC outlets. There isn't. There's one. There's your DC out, and the other one is your DC in, so that's the charge. And then you have your 4 USB ports, which is correct in the photos and the description. There are varying powers. If you want to know more about them, you can read that in the description below the video. So that's what you've got to use. If I turn it around there, you've got a nice big lamp. Very rarely will I use that. I doubt I'll use it at all. Fan has not come on as yet. I've only used it for about an hour or so. It never got hot enough. On the front, the nearest button, if you press it once, it brings on the display, and basically you're in DC mode, and it shows the battery charge level, or if the battery's charging, it shows it. It shows all the USB sockets are ready to operate. The only one it's got missing off of it at the moment is AC, is the mains. If you go to the other side and you press, a little round icon comes on, and it's now ready for AC. So you can plug in and work on the AC. If you press that again, it will power off the AC. Okay. If you want to power off completely, there's 2 ways of doing it. One is to press this button and hold, and it's gone to sleep. Or the other way is to press both and hold. I don't know why. Press both and hold, and that's it. Right, it states 300 watt. I've not plugged anything in over 300 watt yet, but apparently if you overload it, it's got a protection. It will cut out. What will happen, say you put a hairdryer in, domestic hairdryer or something like that, it will start up, and then it will just go click, and a red triangle with an exclamation mark will come up on the screen saying it's gone into lockout. To reset it, it has to be plugged back into the mains. So obviously if you're out in the wilderness off grid, you're not going to be able to do that. The good side of it is that all the DC side continues to operate. It will continue to work, so you can use, charging your batteries, etc. I mean, in all fairness, if you were at a campsite or something like that, you could go up to the clubhouse, plug it into the mains, and it would reset, or go to reception, ask them to plug it in, and it will reset. So that's basically it for the moment. What I'll do, I will go into the solar panel in a bit more detail, and then put the 2 together. Now, just before I go, as I said, I purchased it through Amazon. At the time I purchased it, and I haven't looked since, it was listed at £199.99. I managed to get it with a 20% discount, so I got it for £169.99. That's what prompted me to buy it then, but I haven't looked since. The battery capacity is 75,000 milliamps per hour, 277.5 watt hours. So there you go, that's it at the moment. But as I said, that is available on Amazon. So what I'll do, I'll move on to the solar panel, and then we'll put the 2 together, and I'll show you how it all operates. Right, to give you some idea of the size, here is the it's like in a basically briefcase form, and here it is up against me, and as you can see, 120 solo charger. It's quite a nice quality case. I have got one of the leads dangling out, but I'll turn it round. There's a nice pouch on the back where it keeps all its leads. So I apologise, I've already got one of them coming out, so you can stow all your leads away. Also, although I've taken them out and separated them, the leads for the generator are now housed in there, so I keep it all in one pack. So what I'll do, I'll get this open and show you what they supply with the solar panel. Well, there you go, that's the pouch opened up. I've turned it up the other way for the moment so I can show you what was in the pouch. It comes with battery leads. I'm talking about the crocodile clip type car battery leads, and it can be used to charge lithium, gel or lead acid batteries. That is determined by the solar panel generator. I've actually disconnected these because I'm unlikely to use these, but these would have been, this is the in line with the MC4 connectors, and this would have been right next to that, so you just drop down to your car battery, and I believe it comes preset at lead acid battery. I've not read into that yet because it's not something I'm necessarily going to use a lot. I will leave the instruction manual in there, but one of the things I will say is that if you think you can just run the solar panel, put the solar panel out in the sunlight and plug in and charge off the USB ports, you won't be able to. It does not allow for it. You have to actually have it connected to either a battery or something like a power station. So basically, with the lead I showed you earlier, you would have that plugged into the generator or power station, and then you'd be able to then plug in. So basically they're more like accessories than they are. They're not directly off the panel. Okay, I do believe that basically when you power this on, and if you've got it, you're going to connect it to the battery, I said lead acid, and if you click through, it tells you which battery to go for. It's not a feature that I'm going to use. I will read up on it just in case I do have some sort of problem with my car battery or my van battery when I'm out and I've got it with me. But this is the one I'm interested in. The lead straight off the solar panels, DC lead, which goes directly to my generator. Another thing, it doesn't show that this comes with it in the pictures on the from the seller that I bought this from, which is on eBay. So I did actually email them, but basically this is directly from it. You can disconnect it. There's the MC4 connectors, and they've supplied this rather nice, quite long. I was thinking about buying an extension cable, but I really don't think I'm going to need it. And obviously the further the panel goes from the source, the less charge it's going to get. So you've got this nice long cable with your standard 5.5 times 2.1 connector, which goes directly into the input on the power station. A nice touch with this is they do send a set of adapters, so for some reason you've got a power station or something that you need to connect to that's not 5.5, you've got 8 connectors. You can just pull one off, push it on and plug it in. I do think that's quite a nice touch. Right, so what I'll do, I'll get the panel opened up and then we'll carry on. Well, there you have it. There's the panel all unfolded. There's 4 individual panels. Obviously they're connected, but there's 4 panels. The total length of the panels is 140 centimeters, which is 4 foot 7 inches, and the height is 55 centimeters, which is 1 foot 10. One thing I wish it did have, which it hasn't, is it hasn't got brackets on the back. Obviously there is going to be times when you're going to want to put it out and angle it, depending whether the sun's rising or setting. So I'm going to have to be a bit inventive and make something up so that I can actually adjust the position of the panels. There's the long cable directly from the panel, the DC in. I'll push that into the DC in, and on the front now, let's have a quick glance. It's already charged to free bar of 5. It's now charging. Right next to the icon that shows the battery charging is a little round circle with the word in, just saying that obviously you've now plugged something into the in socket. So there you go. That's basically that's the setup for me. I mean, I'll be using it mainly just like this. As I said, I don't think I'll be using the actual control box on the back unless I have got an issue with a car, but then I've got a quick start battery type thing, so I don't really need this. Right, the reason I bought this and where it's going to come in use to me, I have several kayaks, one of which is a drop stitch kayak. It's 15.5 foot, I think it's 473 centimeters long. What I tend to do with it, I get it out of the car, or I tend to use the van. The van's my leisure vehicle. I have the camping gear and the kayaks on there, or a kayak on there. But what I tend to do is charge it, or pump it up with a 12 volt pump. Now, at the moment, I have to do that right next to the car, and then I may have to carry, to launch the kayak, I may have to carry it X amount of distance, 100 meters or whatever. It's not so much the weight, it weighs 18 kilograms, but it's the length at sort of 16 foot, and you get the slightest breeze and it's blowing me all over the place. It is quite awkward to carry. So with this, I'll be able to take this down with the kayak still in its bag, inflate it at the side of the water, and then I can basically return this, or take this with me. I can put it in a dry bag and put it on the kayak. But so I'll be using it to inflate my kayak. Another thing I've got is a 12 volt 100 watt pressure washer or power washer. It's not that powerful, but I use that for washing the kayak down, mainly for washing the kayak down, and normally leave it at home, wipe the kayak down on site, bring it home, then the next day or that afternoon I'll then be rinsing it down, obviously rinsing it down to get off any invasive plant life or insects or things like that. Now I can again use this, I can get it out of the water, providing the weather's decent, I can wash it down on the spot. The drop stitch PVC is literally wiped dry, pack it away, and it's done and dusted. So there's two uses straight away. The other uses, an example of, I mentioned earlier that I've got 9 days in the Lake District coming up at the beginning of June. Now I'm taking quite a large air tent, which I'm going to use as my base camp, and I'm going out day hiking. Hopefully I'll be up hiking up Coniston, doing an overnight wild camp, and I do enjoy filming, so I'll have lots of batteries, several cameras with me, and over 9 days they're going to need charging several times, including obviously my phone, all those batteries. The other side of it is I'll be getting a lot of 4K footage, although I've got several SD cards. I could really do with uploading that onto my laptop, so I can take one of my laptops and I can load the footage onto the laptop. That way at least I know I've got the footage. There's not going to be a corrupt card at the end of the trip or whatever. Plus, if I want, I can do a little bit of editing in the evening. Now I'm not spending 9 days on every evening on my laptop, but I'd just like to keep ahead of it, so when I get home I may have some of my footage organised, and at least I know I've got most of my footage safely stored, so I can then get on with making my movies. So that's basically it. And like I said at the beginning, this is just a brief out of the box first impression video. I've got a good feeling. I think I've done quite well here. Time will tell, and obviously once I've got the June trip out of the way, which this will take a bit of a hiding, this will take a pasting on that trip at 9 days, then I can do an absolutely thorough review. Last thing, the eco-worthy panel I purchased via eBay. Now it is on Amazon at about £139. No, it is £139.99. I purchased it on eBay at £77.99. I did see it at £139 on eBay as well. Just got to make sure it's exactly the same one, the 120 watt. So I think basically my purchases, I got them a lot cheaper than, by searching around, I got them a lot cheaper. I mean, basically saved myself something in the region of about £70 or £80. You can't knock that. Right, well, that's it for now. I mean, I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it of some use. I mean, there's a lot of these out there. of all varying descriptions, and some say they're the ultimate, or the person says they're the ultimate. There's no such thing as the ultimate. It's either okay, good, or bad. So yes, if you like this review, please give it the thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.